So, welcome to our viewers. Today's gathering of Christchurch seventh title is called "Don't Look Back Now." We're almost there. Don't look back now. We're almost there. We'll be starting off in the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, then straight into Mark 13, just so that you can prepare your pages. We're starting off in the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. All right, so just as the title says, I know we're going to be here every Sabbath, and we're here for every feast day. Sometimes it just feels like there's no grit into what we're doing when we get together. But the grit actually comes from gathering the members itself. So hence today, don't look back now, we're almost there. So who do we know that looked back? The wife of Lot. So don't look back now, we're almost there means in a way where, oh yeah, don't go back into the world, we're almost there. Don't start thinking that this is some sort of fairy tale. Or don't give up. What's the main reason why a lot of us give up in this truth? We get easily offended. And we're going to lay it out there because that's what it is. We're going to call a spade a spade. So the Father's mercy is on its way. It is time to cheer up and properly find out within yourselves or ourselves what is needed for us to receive the kingdom to come. We must stay motivated to learn the ways of the Most High. Right? I don't have to be just fly over your heads, right? And our viewers online. Because we've gone public, we've gone public for a while, we've got 382 subscribers. So no doubt the algorithms will be sending messages to all 382 subscribers. So we will have a lot of viewers afterwards. Right, so we must stay motivated to learn the ways of the Father. So the question is, how do you stay motivated? Who motivates you? Do I depend on my wife to motivate me? Do I depend on Akwa to motivate me? Or is that not me to motivate me? You got a question you got to ask yourself, right? Because when we're not motivating ourselves or we're not motivated, what are we looking for? We're looking for someone to blame for something. Right, so we must stay motivated to learn the ways of the Most High. What's promised is indescribable. But do we believe in the promises? Do we really believe in the promises? That's another question put out. Because if you really believe in the promises, then you should be altering your attitude and the way you carry yourselves today to achieve the promise tomorrow. So we will go over a few promises of the rewards to come in order to awaken ourselves So how much we will actually be missing out due to wanting to be part of this decayed kingdom known as the beast system. So let's start off with Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1 there. We can read that to verse 10.
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Ye, gather together, O nation not desired. Before the decree bring forth before.
What did it say?
Verse 2. Before the decree bring forth.
Now, can we just keep it about the Strong's or the Thayer meaning for that word decree? We're in Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. We're going into the Thayer or the Strong's, whichever one you get first up, of the word decree in verse 2.
Okay, want me to get that? So this is Strong's H2706. Now the Hebrew word for that is coke or coke, and an enactment, hence an appointment of time, space, quantity, labor, or usage. Appointed,
Appointed, come on,
bound, commandment, convenient, custom, decree, due, law, measure, necessary ordinance.
All right. So can we go back into the lesson? Knowing that. So the decree is talking about there's an appointed time when there's going to be people bound. There's going to be a time when, like what and Israel says, we're going to be removed from our homes. There's going to be a time when the nations are coming against us. So if you can get that from verse 1 again, please.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yeah. Gather together, O nation of the Zion. Before the decree bring forth.
Before they start bringing out this plan now, that we are awake now. The decree. Remember, the decree ain't going to come like they're going to start kicking us out of our homes before the time when we're not going to back off and keeping the law section to come up. It's the point where they're going to start killing us. Remember, we're at a time now where we can still go across the road and get KFC right now. But as you know, these times are changing very, very fast. All right, come on. So gather yourselves together, nation of desire. Get together, right? Get together, build yourselves together before they bring the decree out. Before they start changing laws. Right? Come on.
Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass, as the child.
That's right. Do not waste any part of the day. Right? There's no time to be offended. We got no time to get soft. Right? We got to get our eyes to the prize and keep walking forward then. Right? Come on.
Before the day pass, as the child. Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Verse 3. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness.
That's right.
Seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
That's right. There's a big destruction coming, and the only way to be saved is get on the winning side. We have more on the winning side to come. Come on.
Verse 4. For Gaza shall be forsaken.
For where?
For Gaza shall be forsaken.
Now they just bombed the hell out of Gaza just a couple of days ago. They bombed the living hell out of it. Right? Anyone know how big Gaza Strip is? It's from the laneway up there where you come in off the freeway, see the traffic lights up there? And it's probably down to here. Depending on college, that's how long it is. And it's the most controversial strip in the whole world. Right? At the moment, Gaza's already been forsaken. They're already changed them. They've already gone us looking the other way, but they're bombing Gaza, right? It's the Most High's will. Let's keep going.
Verse 4. For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation.
Desolation that's in North Israel at the moment. Come on.
They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up. Woe unto the inhabitants of the sea coast, the nation of the Cherethites.
Right. Cherethites, they were another nation that King David used to kill the other nations, frontline men. They used to inhabit the coast there. Well, they moved out, and Gentiles have now moved into that area. What did it say in verse 5?
Woe unto the inhabitants.
Woe unto the inhabitants all along that coast there, because what the Most High is creating was to empty out the land, get ready for his people to come back. Now, if the Most High is not playing, shall we be playing? We shouldn't be playing. Put these small things to the side. Right? Anything that besets you from the goal that's coming, put it aside. All right, come on.
Verse 5. Woe unto the inhabitants of the sea coast, the nation of the Cherethites. The word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan, the land of the Philistines. I will even destroy thee, that there shall be no inhabitation.
That's right.
And the sea coast shall be dwellings and cottages for shepherds and folds for flocks. And the coast shall be for the remnant of the house of Judah.
Now, what's the title of today's lesson? Don't look back now, we're almost there. When you're starting in the prophecy, it's to show before you start putting your pen down and start going to sleep. The Most High has fulfilled the prophecy. Start the lesson off with that, knowing that this prophecy has already started. You all know that, for those that watch the news. For those that watch the news and are awake, they'll be like, yeah, the Most High is working up here. We got more. Keep reading.
So verse 7. And the coast shall be for the remnant of the house of Judah.
The coast shall be the remnant of the house of who?
Of the house of Judah.
Come on.
They shall feed thereupon in the houses of Ashkelon.
Come on.
Shall they lie down in the evening? For the Lord their God shall visit them and turn away their captivity. I have heard the reproach of Moab.
Right. So now you know where Judah is going to be in that time. Right? Telling you that Judah is going to be eating out of these towns, meaning that Judah is going to be making its way to the heart. Right? Because how many countries in Africa today? 50. Right? They're all awake there. A lot of them know who they are. Right? Now imagine Judah waking up in Africa and knowing that they are the blood of kings. These men will fear nothing. We have more. All right, come on.
Verse 8. I have heard the reproach of Moab.
The what?
I have heard the reproach of Moab
And
the revelings of the children of Ammon.
these are the Jordanians and the Palestinians of today. The Most High has heard of their reproach. Come on.
Whereby they have reproached my people.
They what?
Whereby they have reproached my people.
They come in there and they're trying to tell them, no, you guys don't know the land. We didn't know that. We've been here 500 years. Right? Come on.
And magnified themselves against their border.
Yeah. Isn't that what's happening today? The Palestinians and the Jordanians are getting their part of the curse. Because when the children of Israel try to go back in there, they're kicking them out. All the Negro Palestinians that are in there, they're saying we're the children of Israel. And the Palestinians are actually keeping them prisoner inside of Palestine themselves. Trying to tell them that you don't belong anywhere. That's why the majority of Palestine was turned into Islam. Because if it was still Christianity, then a lot of the truth will still be anchored in there. Right? So a lot of the children of Israel try to go back into Palestine and parts of Israel, and they were getting kicked out. You guys don't belong here. You guys belong in Africa. So what did the Most High do about it? He started turning their guns on themselves for treating my people that way. Come on.
Verse 9. Therefore, as I live, say of the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom.
As what?
Surely Moab shall be as Sodom.
And it's nearly like that now. The Palestinians are nearly finished. They're on their knees right now. But when the children of Israel go back into the land, they shall be like Sodom. What does it look like in Sodom right now? Nothing. There's nothing there. So you're not going to find any Palestinians there when the children of Israel go back in there. No children of Moab. No one, none of them are going to be in there. Right? Come on.
Moab shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah, even the breeding of nettles and salt pits, and a perpetual desolation.
And what?
And a perpetual desolation.
Right, and desolation is ongoing. Look at that war of peace in the Middle East been going on forever. There's going to be no peace there until Judah returns back. That's prophecy. Come on.
And a perpetual desolation. The residue of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess it.
So what?
And the remnant of my people shall possess it.
The children of Israel are going to get in there. They're going to possess the Jordanians. They're going to take the Palestinians, and they're going to become servants. Can't that? But what are we going to do to get there? What are we going to do for the Most High to have favor on us, to have that power to do that? We've got to be good children, family. We've got to be keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments. We've got to keep it down to a T. Give me that verse 9 up.
Verse 9. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah, even the breeding of nettles and salt pits, and a perpetual desolation. The residue of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them.
The residue of my people shall spoil them. It doesn't say spoil as in like spoil a child, spoil them and scatter them. Yeah? Judah are going to get in there, our kings are going to get in there and shake that land up. And they're going to take every single man, woman, and children captive. Read.
The residue of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them. Verse 10. This shall they have for their pride.
They shall what?
This shall they have for their pride.
They shall, man. They're going to be like me. This is written in prophecy. We the people of this land. Judah going to hold their heads up. Come on.
This shall they have for their pride, because they have reproached and magnified themselves against the people of the Lord of hosts.
See that? So as the other tribes, what are we going to do? The other tribes, we're going to elevate our kings. It's not time for other tribes to say, oh, we're not God. We're Ephraim. No, the other tribes are going to get together and uplift our kings. Right? That's the only way we're going to do it. Is get that bad connotation they got against the Negro of today. Get that bad connotation out of here. How? By uniting as one people. By uplifting our kings. Huh? Whether you're Issachar, whether you're Asher. Right? We've got to really put our kings out there to come up. All right, so let's go to Mark 13. So with these prophecies coming to pass, the Father commanded us to come together. This is not time for division. We shall be united under his Son to fulfill his will in this earth, not divided under all manners of ideologies and offenses. This is not time to look for an excuse to turn back to sin either. So let's go to Mark 13 and 12, please, to 16.
Say kind to there. It's the book of Mark, chapter 13, starting at verse 12. Now the brother shall betray the brother to death.
To what?
Now the brother shall betray the brother to death.
See, it's going to get to a point where laws are going to be changed. It's going to get to a point where politicians will change laws on everything. Even down to the point where you'll betray your brother to death. So there's going to be obviously death penalty for maybe not all offenses, but a lot of offenses. There might even be a death penalty for like going against the government in comments on TikTok. I know in the early days of YouTube, they used to show executions in China. So if you said anything bad about the government, or even borderline bad about the government marched through the towns with their lists and they pull out everyone. And people don't even know they're going to get pulled out. They march through the towns and they pull the people out to the streets, and then they show them their offense. And they don't even know they're going to die right there. And the Chinese and their authorities, they used to execute them in the streets or in sports coliseum. I was watching this like in the late 90s. I mean the late 2000s. And it's gonna be very, very similar to here, right? You can carry on, please, sir. Let's have a look at the environment of that time.
Verse 12. Now the brother shall betray the brother to death, and the father the son, and children shall rise up against their parents, and shall cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
Yeah, there you go. So it's through Christ's doctrine, or the way Christ has commanded us to live, is where a lot of this death will come in. The accusations here, right? Let's put it into read up 13 again now.
Verse 13. And he shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
For my name's sake. Remember, we just read, no, a brother shall betray a brother to death. Father the son. The children shall rise up against their parents and shall cause them to be put to death. And then the next line it says,
and he shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
Right, so the first line is talking about basically people that are followers of Christ. Come on.
And he shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. But when ye shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet.
Right, the abomination, now when Daniel was speaking about it, is when the temple wasn't used for its temple purpose. It was abomination of desolation. So the abomination caused the desolation. Right? Now what's the abomination happening here in our society? We have rainbow people now. And they're trying to add every letter now to their alphabet. Now you imagine when they get the P's and all that in there. Right? It's going to be upside down. That's going to be abomination of desolation. Come on.
Verse 14, but when ye shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing where it ought not. Let him that readeth understand. Then let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains.
Right, we know that this doesn't happen in Jerusalem. In Judea, the southern kingdom, they ran into the mountains and ended up in Africa. Come on.
Verse 15. And let him that is on the housetop not go down into the house, neither enter therein to take anything out of his house. And let him that is in the field not turn back again.
These times will come again. That's why the Most High says we're going to push some rebels out from amongst the gathering of my people. Because of the instructions are here, verse 15. Can you give it up?
And let him that is on the housetop not go down.
So there's going to be a few of us that's going to be like, no one's going back to get this stuff in their house, quick, we'll go. Then you're going to get a couple of rebels, a couple of people that are fully full of truth being amongst us and go, listen to them, it's your house, just go get it. Yeah, we're going to get these people. He doesn't know that. You know you'll speak. You know, you get your phone charger, how are you going to call your parents? Just go get it. I'll pick you up where you are. Yeah, these are rebels. These are the guys you got to look out for. Because everything that you say, they've always got an opposition to that. All right, come on.
I'll start at verse 16. And let him that is in the field not turn back again, for to take up his garments.
So we are once again be surrounded by military. And now more than ever, we must learn to hang on in there together. Those that look back at that time fell victim to the looters and the murderers amongst our own people, including family. The others fell to the sword by the other nations or went into slavery. There's nothing new under the sun of that. They know that Australian soldiers won't kill Australian citizens. What do you reckon they're going to do? See the way they train those Koreans? See the way they train those Chinese army? They are trained not to give a damn. Now they say that if they send the Chinese army to Australia, it'll be about 4 Australian citizens to 1 soldier.
I understand that.
Right? And that's not even including their reserve. So they'll send military from the other side of the world to do their dirty work here. They're already sending Western world Special Forces Navy SEALs to do the dirty work on the other side. Huh? But if you tell those Navy SEALs that are in Pakistan, Iraq, and Afghanistan, hey, guys, come over here, I want you guys to raid one of the suburbs here, they'll be like, no, they're not going to raid your own suburbs. Right, so there is going to be a time when they're going to get foreign troops in here. Right, we get up.
What's that book we're going to?
So James 1 and 21. But remember, before they start changing political agendas, they've got to brainwash the people through some way, right? They've got to soften us down to accept changes. They're going to give us technology to wow us. They're going to have celebrities punch each other on the screen. Everyone's like, wow, did you see that? Yeah. Yeah. See, America just beat South Sudan by 1 point. And in the meanwhile, they got all our brothers and sisters surrounded in Africa. And while we're talking about this 1 point, all right, when you're ready, James 1 and 21, we'll read down to 27.
The book of James, chapter 1, verse 21. Wherefore, lay apart all filthiness,
All filthiness, lay apart all filthiness,
Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness,
Superfluity of naughtiness, the heaviness, the temptations, everything that comes with sin, lay all that aside because sin is heavy. Yeah? Sin is heavy. When you commit sin, it's heavy. It's like a big, heavy leather coat on you that just sits on you and pulls you down. That's what sin's like. So it says here, lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness. There's all that negativeness that comes with sin. Put all these things aside. Temptations, everything that you see with the eyes, the curve of the woman, right? The chest of the man. All these things that lead to sin, put all these things to the side. Come on.
and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul.
That's right.
But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only.
Right, that's what's going to separate the believers from the non-believers. Doers and non-doers, you know.
But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
All right, there's no changes to that man. Same man. Right? Come on.
Verse 24. For he beholdeth himself, and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
He what? He what?
For he beholdeth himself, and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
He forgets. Now, when you're not meditating, if you're not going to the gym to work out on your biceps, what's going to happen? Nothing. That bicep is going to turn to a bit of skin. It's going to be an arm of that muscle, right? Well, this is like the word of the Most High. If we're not doing repetitions with the word of the Most High, we're never going to be strong in it. This is why some of us still here. This is why I still sit here and speak about it with a passion. Why? Because the word of the Most High, man, every night, people don't even know it. I'll probably be on my phone like this, but I've got the word of the Most High going like this in my head. Right? Come on.
And if I may add, even if you think about those who used to be in this truth, used to acknowledge their heritage, being an Israelite, but now they've gone back into the world, they've forgotten that.
Right. Absolutely right. And a lot of them can't even remember these basic precepts that we're going through. It's gone out of them. They can't edify themselves again. Now, I know the elders always said, whatever is not of the Most High, the Most High will tear it down. And you precept them with the withering plant of the tree. And you know what? With the old body there was, leadership there was in the church here, has literally withered down to nothing. If you know what I know, you know what I know. Divorce, right? Away from the kids, all these living in separate houses. A lot of the old members, they used to be part of the church. Kids rebelled, out of control now. The Most High pulled down whatever was going to be nothing, the Most High pulled it down and be nothing. All right, come on.
Verse 25. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty, and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue,
And what?
and bridleth not his tongue,
Right, anyone among us want to be looking, sounding religious, but cannot control his mouth? Read.
but deceiveth his own heart,
But the seed of his own heart,
this man's religion is vain.
and wasting his time. Right? Wasting time. Come on.
7. Pure religion and undefiled before the Most High, and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world.
Right, so how many of us have done that? Anyone? Put up your hand. Who's visited the fatherless and the widows? Anyone? Anyone visit the fatherless and the widows? And give me 27 now.
Verse 27. Pure religion
Pure religion
and undefiled,
and undefiled, untouched, unblemished before the Most High. Read.
and the Father
Come on.
is to visit the fatherless,
Into what?
to visit the
We're
fatherless
going to visit the fatherless.
and widows
Come on.
in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world.
Right. So what do we do in our bodies so that we all cut our hands to that? When our mothers are giving birth, we all get in, we all chip them. That's another way of doing it. So that we all put it. Huh? And the fathers. So the babies didn't have fathers around. So let's go to second Esdras. One, starting at verse 4. So staying unspotted by sin is key in these last days. It is what separates us from those that are fit for destruction. It was a key focus for all of the prophets. Staying unspotted or blameless. Second Esdras 1, verse 4 to 11, please.
This is the book of Second Esdras, starting at verse 1, chapter 1, starting at verse 4. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Go thy way, and show my people their sinful deeds, and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me.
Well, what book does that sound like? That sounds like Isaiah 58 and 1, doesn't it? Cry aloud, spare not. Show my people their transgression. It even sounds like Matthew 10. Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel and profess to them that the kingdom of the Most High is at hand. So right for the whole Bible, it's a command. Give me that verse 4 again now.
Go thy way, and show my people their sinful deeds,
Mm-hmm.
and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children.
That's right. So awakening our people. For the end of every month, we're out there on the street. We'll be street preaching or outreaching. Maybe both. Come on.
Verse 6. Because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me, and have offered unto strange gods. Am not I even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage? But they have provoked me unto wrath, and despised my counsels. Verse 8. Pull thou off then the hair of thy head, and cast all evil upon them, for they have not been obedient unto my law, but it is a rebellious people. How long shall I forbear them, into whom I have done so much good? Many kings have I destroyed for their sakes. Pharaoh with his servants and all his power have I smitten down.
Now, when they took the book of Jasher out of the Bible, it took out the information of the kings that the Most High destroyed for the nation of Israel. Anyone read the book of Jasher here? Anyone read the book of Jasher? We have you read it? The whole. Yeah. There's like two nations of the Most High. Two nations of people that don't even exist today, the Most High wiped them on the face of the earth. There was nations and nations of kings that came together against Israel. And it was the Most High that sent Christ in that time to save his people. All the time. All the time. So the Most High is like, man, I saved them from all these kings. I showed them the impossible. I showed them the land of Egypt. They made Egypt great. Then they went into captivity because in Egypt, because the Egyptians were getting paranoid. Right? You guys know that, right? Israel went into captivity in Egypt wasn't because of transgression. It was because the Egyptians were paranoid that these people will become greater than them. So they took them into captivity. Then the Most High God did not free them. Then all these other nations came against them and I still freed them. And my people just will not listen. They will not listen. Is there anything new under the sun? No. Today, Israel still will not listen. Right? And when leadership puts out, God is doing this order, leadership is not a problem apparently. Right? Now people just will not listen. Right? So how much time and grace is the Most High put on our people? Right? Keep reading.
Verse 11. All the nations have I destroyed before them, and in the east I have scattered the people of 2 provinces,
That's right.
even of Tyrus and Sidon, and have slain all their enemies.
So we must remember the mistakes of the past so that we don't repeat them. We are very proud to have so many brothers and sisters who deal towards learning about the Messiah. But the zeal in learning is different from actions as a result of that knowledge. Right? So then let's go to Jeremiah 2 and 11.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 11. So I can't if you're there.
All right, follow us from Jeremiah chapter 2. We're reading verse 11 down to verse 14.
And it reads, Have the nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which doeth not profit. Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, saith the Lord. For my people have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiling?
So we must stay inspired and not become complacent and accepting of this wicked world. Are we slaves or are we destined for great authority? The truth is, we were never meant to serve. And now, more than ever, we must remember that and stop bowing our necks to Satan's kingdom and stand in a righteous pride for the Most High's kingdom. Right. So let's go to 2 Ezra 2 and 42.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 2, verse 42. Are we all there? And it reads, I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Sinai a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads.
All right, so not leaving verse 42 bars, man. Can you get verse 42 again, please, up?
I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Sinai a great people, whom I could not number.
Come on.
And they all praised,
And they what?
and they all praised
How?
the Lord with songs.
They all praise the Most High with songs. Telling you, man, When we sing Lord praises and worship and praise, everybody gonna sing. Everybody gonna sing. Whether you have a voice or not, whether you can sing or not, you're gonna sing. Right? Singing is a massive part of worshiping the Most High. Huge. A big percentage of it. Right? Come on.
Verse 43. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. Verse 44. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now are they crowned and receive honor.
Right? These are the ones that put off the carnal clothing, carnal attitude, but took on a spiritual attitude. Come on.
Verse 46. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to command them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
Remember, we're reading in Ezra in the Old Testament. He's talking about Christ and the kingdom. Right, read on.
Verse 48. Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way, and tell my people what manner of things.
So you notice that, and here it says that Christ was tall. Yeah, who did it say that? His head was above all.
43. High stature.
High stature, can you give me that?
Verse 43. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest.
Taller than all the rest. Now, when you read in the books of Josephus, Christ, when he was on the earth, he had a hunchback. Christ had a real big hunchback. It was so big that people thought it to be scary. He had a long face and he had one monobrow, long nose. He had a hair split down the middle and very short hair. Like similar to something you see of the hunchback of Notre Dame. That's what Christ was like. So when he was hunched over, when he was on the earth, when he was in his glorified form, there was no hunchback. He was standing upright. Therefore, he became very, very tall, as you read here in verse 43. Right? Then Elgaza was saying he had a hunchback while he was on the earth because he was bearing the sins of the earth while he was living in the earth. That the older he got, the more hunched his back got. So imagine when they crucified him, it must be painful. It must be really painful. They must have really stretched him out. Are you ready, huh? So I'll say,
Is that,
if you can come back down to verse 45 or 46.
Verse 46. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is that crowned them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to command them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way, and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Lord thy God thou hast seen.
So Israel gave a message of repentance, but he also gave them a message of reward for great diligence in keeping the Father's commandments. There will be a reward for those that stand firm for the Most High's message and uphold His name above all names. We must believe. So let's look at an example of what he saw as a reward in 2 Ezra 2:15 to verse 19.
Say kind if you're there. It's the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 2, starting verse 15. Mother, embrace thy children and bring them up with gladness. Make their feet as fast as a pillar. For I have chosen thee, saith the Lord. And those that be dead will I raise up again from their places, and bring them out of the graves. For I have known my name in Israel. Fear not, thou mother of the children, for I have chosen thee, saith the Lord. For thy help will I send my servants Esau and Jeremy, after whose counsel I have sanctified and prepared for thee 12 trees laden with divers fruits. Verse 19. And as many fountains flowing with milk and honey, and 7 mighty mountains, whereupon there grew roses and lilies, whereby I will fill thy children with joy.
So now those 7 mountains are mentioned in the book of Enoch and are said to be made of precious stones. The Most High allowed his word through his prophets, such as Isaiah and Jeremiah, to reprove our ways so that he can give rewards to those who love him. We must look at the bigger picture and love the Most High for loving enough of us to offer us such promises after living simple lives. So let's go into the book of Revelation 22 to see some examples. Verse 1 to verse 6.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 22, starting at verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there a tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no curse, or no more curse, but the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve it. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. And there shall be no night, there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun. For the Lord God giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. And he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true. And the Lord God of the holy prophets sent his angel to show unto his servants the things which must shortly be done. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book.
So blessed are those that uphold these warnings and blessings from the Most High, and live in righteousness to teach others of his ways. Christ is coming soon, so be ready. Jump down to verse 14, please.
Revelation 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life. They may enter in through the gates into the city.
Now, why blessed are they that do his commandments? Why did it say that? Can you give me that verse 14?
Verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments,
Blessed are they that do his commandments,
that they may have right to the tree of life.
that they may have right to the tree of life. Come on.
And may enter in through the gate into the city.
Right. Now remember, there was 2 cherubims that were put on the gates, right? Go to the gardens. Now, when it comes that time, these people that keep the commandments, these cherubims were commanded to kill anyone that tried to get into the garden. Now, during that time, these people here that keep the commandments, they will be allowed to go in and out. Why does it say, blessed are they that do his commandments? What of the Bible says that? Blessed are they that do his commandments. Why is that? Can I ask everyone here, why is it blessed are they that do his commandments? Doesn't it say blessed are they that do his laws? No. It says blessed are they that do his commandments. The commandments enforce the law. Now, what are some of the commandments? Now, this, if you're sitting in amongst elders and you have nothing better to say, put a bar across your mouth and keep it shut. Is that a law or is that a commandment? That's a commandment. Right? So when you fulfill that commandment, what law are you fulfilling? You get what I mean now? So those that operate in the commandments are operating in the instructions of the Father of how to better themselves. Huh? So when you're always listening to commandments, you're always like going through Proverbs. You know what's Proverbs say? Oh, Proverbs 1:20 says here, above all, seek wisdom above everything else. Okay. Proverbs 28, what does it say there? The fool utters all, but the wise will live forever. Okay, I'm going to build myself according to the wisdom scriptures because the wisdom scriptures are commandments. Huh? Because of building myself to the wisdom scriptures, which is commandments, I automatically fulfill the laws that these commandments were made for. So those that are trying to better themselves and trying to gain favor on the Most High, these are the people that are trying to keep it by the commandment, do everything by the commandment. These are the people that will have the right to the tree of life because they've been trying to build their life as righteous people according to the commandments. Does that make sense? That's why the commandment keepers will have right to the tree of life because you've always been trying to build yourself to be a godly person according to the commandments. Or in our case, we look at the other ways with scriptures. Huh? Things like, let us hear the whole conclusion of the matter, or the matter of the conclusion. Fear the Lord and keep his commandments. That's wisdom. That's commandment. Not a law, it's a commandment. Thou shalt not eat swine. That's a law. Right? What's the commandment to that? Don't eat it. Huh? What's the commandment? What's the commandment of not to eat duck? Anyone? Just don't eat duck. That's a commandment. So when we're fulfilling the commandment, we're fulfilling the law. Where we end up?
Revelation 22, chapter 14.
All right.
Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. Verse 15. For without our dogs,
For those that are without commandments are what?
for without our dogs,
Are what?
dogs,
Are dogs. DOGS. They do what they want. They eat what they want. People that don't want to listen to the commandments, you're as good as a dog. Not talking about those that are not following commandments in their ignorance. They're different. Because you're ignorant. But those that are aware of the Most High's commandments and still are following commandments, you're as good as a dog. Because you do what you want, you eat what you want, and you sleep wherever you want. And your master can be anyone that shows you favor. All right, come on.
for without our dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
You're likened to all these different kinds of people. So let's go to Revelation 21:16. So eternal life, or your own lust, filled existence, is the choice. Make no mistake about it. If you are living a lie, you will definitely fry. That's the line. Okay, here is another example, Revelation 21:16. Right, if you're living a lie, you will definitely fry. I'll put that on a t-shirt.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 16. And it reads, And the city lieth foursquare, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal.
What's the reed that is talking about here? Measurement, like a ruler, yeah? It's got all the 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters. Yep, reed, come on.
Verse 17. And he measured the wall thereof, 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. Verse 18. And the building of the wall of it was a jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass.
Right, so it's talking about Israelites, not talking about an actual building, talking about Israelites. Remember, each tribe is represented by a stone. So on the wall of this temple, come on,
And the building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. Verse 19. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third a chalcedony, the fourth an emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the seventh chrysolite, the eighth a beryl, the ninth a topaz, the 10th, a chrysoprasus, the 11th, a jacinth, the 12th, an amethyst.
so in this world, we have to turn in our gold just to get a few bucks to keep the lights on. The kingdom to come doesn't come with a light bill. We must keep our spirits high and keep things in proper perspective so that we don't rob ourselves of our reward. Lamentations 4. Lamentations 4 and 16.
Your reflection from the first, right? You said it's still live, is it like a layers upon layers, or just like?
Yes, it'll be a big square building. Like 4 square. And the length of it is as large as the breadth.
Does it have like a meaning to like, so like a layers, you know how like the heaven have a layers upon layers and stuff?
Yeah, I see your point. But I think on here it's meaning that it's a perfectly square. All 4 corners equal. Because remember it's got 3 gates on each wall. So all 3 walls must be the same dimension. But man, it's a big question. We'll have a look at it after. That's a good question. Page 4 and 16, man.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 16. The anger of the Lord hath divided them. He will no more regard them. They respected not the persons of the priests. They favored not the elders. As for us, our eyes are yet failed for our vain help. In our watching we have watched for a nation that could not save us. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled.
Right, so verse 17 says, let me bring that please up.
As for us,
As for us,
our eyes are yet veiled for our vain help.
come on,
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
right. No nation can save us from this, from what our nation is going through now. The only way is to gather as one under Zion. The only way is unite as one. The only way is to come together in the Sabbath, that means feast days, right? And do what we're commanded. Like, make something of what we're together. If we're all together gathering every Sabbath, let's do it, let's make something of that. Huh? Like, what can we do about it? Let's act like we're actually building the nation, because we are. Maybe the Sarah, maybe all wearing white jackets. How's that? So it looks like we're actually getting something. Not saying we're not getting it. Coming up these little things here, you know? Get the men's reading up and going. And the men putting their hand up to do something. Right? Let's get together and, you know, let's act like we are building. So we are building. Sometimes it feels like we're stagnant. Right? So while we're getting together, let's hear what it says. While we're getting together, let's make something of it. Let's make it greater than great. All right, come on up. Forgot where you were.
So, verse 16. The anger of the Lord hath divided them. He will no more regard them. They respected not the persons of the priests. They favored not the elders. As for us,
So you see that until we're reading Lamentations, that is the opposite of the commandments. Because the commandments tell us to respect the elders, to respect the priests. Because what's the other part of respect to the priests? Is give them time. And people stop doing it. And people stop respecting each other. And people stop respecting elders. We started falling from the commandments. And ultimately fell from the law. We fell from the very simple things. Come on.
verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They persuade us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Lord, was taken in their pits, of whom we said, under his shadow, we shall live among the heathen. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Eden, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through. Unto thee thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
Right? So we're moving into the Most High visiting Edom, taking them into slavery eventually. So no more slavery, no more slave mindsets. What are we waiting for? Hebrews 12 and 9. Right, we're reading Lamentations chapter 4, verse 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. Talking about when our slavery and everything is finished. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. No more punishment for us. The Most High will visit the iniquity of Edom after that, and he will discover thy sins. This is when Edom starts going down and starts going into captivity. But we've got to be in favor of the Most High to be achieving these things. Hebrews 12 and 9.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence, shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
All right, a lot of us have got our backsides whipped from our dads, our earthly dads. And a lot of us wailed like wounded dogs. Right? And they're holding your backside up to your dad, giving you a good whack. Right? And you've never done that mistake ever again. Well, the Bible's saying, if we listen to our dads when we broke our dad's rules, and our dad really broke our back, right? Won't we listen to the Most High even more for being the creator? I know I bet you we all got good stories of that, eh? I'll tell you, I have a few myself. All right, read on.
Verse 10. For they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness.
That's right.
Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous.
That's right. But they don't take it as chastising these days, and they look at it as child abuse. Child abuse. All right, come on.
Start at verse 11 again. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Wherefore lift up thy hands, or lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet.
That's right. So those that started getting chastised, they didn't like it. Obviously, no one likes being chastised, right? But after being chastised and being told why, they eventually got the idea, okay, I got chastised because of this. When you're an islander, you get knocked out by your own dad. I did that because I loved you. Now I understand where that comes from. Right? Is when they give you a real big hiding, and then afterwards, when you're all bleeding and lumped all around your face, said, I did that because I love you. Then you go into the room, you're like, I don't get that. Beat me half to death because you love me. I'm trying to understand. But as a father now, I understand. Now I understand. We used to go to school all red. I walked past the office one day and one teacher saw this circle. It was like a red circle here. She goes, oh, what's that on your neck? Is that a tattoo? He said, no. Something. Give me a look. I said, no, it's okay. And then she just grabbed it, looked at it, and she goes, so to the front, she's like, I want the extension lead all around. But asked me what happened, and I told her. Yeah. It's because I was caught smoking in school. And then the Polynesian lady in the office called my mom. My mom told my dad. When I got home more happy. Got home more happy and I was told to sit down here. And then my dad would be essentially like a cowboy, went to town on me. And then I went to school with Mark. They're freaking out. And then I said to the lady, this is why you don't tell Polynesian parents when the kids done something wrong. They're like, they understood why every time they spoke to Polynesian kids' parents when doing something wrong in school, these kids would be off for 2 to 3 days afterwards. They never knew. That's because here, this is straight after. Yeah. 2 to 3 days later, this will all be gone. That's why the kids didn't come to school. But I know why. All right, when you're ready, up.
I'll finish off verse 12. And then, wherefore lift up the hands which hang down,
Mhm.
and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed.
So it's time for healing. If we are weak and destroyed because of our lack of walking in a spiritually straight path, our kingdom is at hand. So let's go to Isaiah 35. Start off at verse 1 up, down to verse 10. About three more books. Isaiah 35, starting off at verse 1. So don't look back now. We're almost there.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 35, verse 1. The wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice even with a joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it, the excellency of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord and the excellency of our God. Strengthen ye the weak hands, and confirm the feeble knees. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, even God with a recompense. He will come and save you. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Then shall the lame man leap as an hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert, and the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land of springs of water.
Wow.
In the habitation of dragons, where each lay shall be grass with reeds and rushes, and an highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called.
Well, this is for the remnant that's left in the wilderness. When we run away from this world and live a life that we can out in the wilderness, this is what the Most High will break rivers. It will make fruits and everything grow where you are because we've hidden ourselves and not suffered while we were in the wilderness. Right? He'll get us to eat, fill ourselves up, and then he will open up the highways so you can meet there.
Verse 7. And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. In the habitation of dragons, where each lay shall be grass with reeds and rushes, and a highway shall be there,
A highway shall be there. Come on.
and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness.
The way of holiness.
The unclean shall not pass over it.
The what?
The unclean shall not pass over
The
it,
unclean shall not pass over.
but it shall be for those the wayfaring men. Though fools shall not err therein.
Right. There's going to be a highway guarded by angels all the way back to the Holy Land. Only for the promise. Is our journey finished there? No. Because then we're going to go all the way, the highway to the promised land, guided by angels, and go in through the bottom of Mount Zion and go straight into the Feast of Tabernacles. Right? Come on.
Time. No lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there, and the ransom of the Lord shall return, and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away.
Imagine that we made it into the wilderness. Imagine that. Eh? Imagine we made it into the wilderness. We witnessed all trees growing, water coming out of the ground. We'll be looking at each other like, I remember I was at 35. Then the highway opens up. And you know that highway takes you directly back into the kingdom. And how exciting that. We will be so excited because we know about it through 7 classes. We know about it when we read Isaiah 35. We'll be so excited. We'll be dancing our way into Zion. Huh? Because we'll be so happy. We'll be dancing our way in because, like, yeah, you made it. We made it. Yeah, we made it, man. Right, so there you go.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Verse 10.
Verse 10.
That was it.
So cheer up and have pride in walking righteously. Don't let the world get you down. Beautiful things are promised that this decaying world could never give you. So let's look at 1 Timothy 6 and 3. A couple more books.
I'll read that to verse 8. Yeah.
Yes. Verse 3 to verse 8.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6, starting at verse 3. Say, kind if you're there. And it reads, if any man teach otherwise, and consent not to wholesome words, even the words of our Lord Yeshua.
Right. So we're going to teach it, right? We're going to teach it and everything about what's coming, the promise that's coming. We also that are teaching have got to be also in that mindset. That's also words. We've also got to be in that mindset. We've also got to be men that are not only teaching it, but also living it. Right? We can't be teaching you something else, and then I'll go home and have a cigarette. Or go home and get blind drunk. Right? Because if any man teach otherwise, and consent not to wholesome words, right? Gotta explain it, give it the whole oomph. And live it as well. Come on.
If any man teach otherwise, and consent not to wholesome words, even the words of our Lord Yeshua, and to the doctrine which is according to godliness, he is proud, knowing nothing, but doting about questions and strifes of words, whereof cometh envy, strife.
That's right. If we're not teaching it, because we're meant to be teaching it with everything. When you're teaching it, you must be fulfilling these things yourself. Going through it. You must believe everything that you're teaching. If you're teaching these things and you don't believe it, and you're not using wholesome words or not fulfilling or getting the picture across of what the scriptures are trying to tell you, verse 4,
He is proud,
he's proud.
knowing nothing,
Knowing what?
knowing nothing,
Knowing nothing. Come on.
but doting about questions
Mhm.
and strifes of
And what?
doting about questions
Right.
and strifes of words.
Dodging questions and then using words and flipping words so it can suit you when it comes to the time when you be questioned. Well, I didn't exactly say that. I was assuming that. You see, the devil comes with the stripes of words. I said, they're right here, man. Paul's writing, that's not me. All right? Come on.
Doting about questions and strifes of words,
Mm-hmm.
whereof cometh envy,
Come in what?
envy,
Come on.
strife,
Strife,
hating,
ratings,
evil
and
submission.
evil submission. That all comes out on somebody that is not operating in in the way that the Bible says you should be operating. Using wholesome words, teaching the whole doctrine or teaching the teaching as it should be taught, teach it with passion. Unless the person has got other ideas, right? Come on.
Verse 5. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godly.
That's what?
Supposing that gain is godly.
Come on.
From such withdraw thyself.
Now give me that verse 5 again, so we don't pass it over our heads.
Verse 5. Perverse disputings
What?
of men.
Perverse disputings of men. Can you give me the Strongs for that word perverse?
Six.
Maybe give the Thayer definition.
Okay, so the Thayer definition. Useless occupation.
A what?
Useless occupation.
Useless occupation, a waste of space. Come on,
Empty business.
empty business, you waste of space, and you're here for nothing. All right? So let's go back in there. Amen. So, what does the Bible say? Verse 6.
Verse 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain.
Wait, that's verse 5. Like verse 5.
Verse 5. Perverse disputings of men.
Perverse disputings of men, a waste of space. Disputings into where it means nothing. Men of corrupt minds, come on.
Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth,
Come on.
supposing that gain is godliness.
Gain is godliness. See, when you've got things that you be blessed. Come on.
From such withdraw thyself.
From such withdraw yourselves, saying. Withdraw yourselves. What was happening in the old body is that people were having favoritism of people. They started, he was a nice guy. But it's like, hang on. I see here everything that says otherwise. Yeah, but he's a nice guy. They were showing favoritism of a person, and then half of the body went there because he was a nice guy. It's like, hang on, I think I'd rather listen to what Paul was writing here. All right, come on.
So, verse 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain.
It's great gain, come on.
For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be wherewith content.
But the contentment is key. This is not the kingdom promise to our forefathers. So seeking to be kings here is useless. All right, wake up. You are destined for so much more. You can get there if you just stand now and don't look back. Hosea 2:1. Second to last one.
Read that to verse 7, yeah?
Yeah.
In the book of Hosea, chapter 2, starting at verse 1. Say ye unto your brethren, and to your sisters, Ruhamah, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts, lest I strip her naked and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst, and I will not have mercy upon her. And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whores. Verse 5. For their mother had played the harlot. She that conceived them hath done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lovers, that give me my milk and my water, my wool and my flax, mine oil and my drink.
Talking about Israel. Right? Talking about Israel. Come on.
Verse 6. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns.
You would what?
I will hedge up thy way with thorns.
You see, because our people think would be chasing heathen pagan gods. You know, I mean, you look at it. I mean, reading through Josephus, when they were spitting and throwing stones at Moses on a daily basis, it was like, oh man, we've got to be eating some steak in Egypt right now. You know, we're eating flour and water. And they were complaining on a daily basis, we could be eating steak. I'd rather go back to Egypt and be a slave than be out here in the desert. And they were mocking Moses for that. Right? So even when Moses went up to the mountains, they made calves. Even when Joshua took us into the promised land, people still wouldn't listen. Still wouldn't listen. Give me that verse 5 out.
Verse 5. For their mothers have played the harlot.
Their what?
For their mothers have played the harlot.
The mother is Israel, played the harlot. So Hosea was married to a whorish woman as well. She slept with many men. And Hosea went to the Most High and was like, but she's sleeping on many men. What should I do? Should I leave her? Or should I marry her? The Most High was like, marry her. Then you will know what it's like to be married to Israel. Yeah. He's like, okay. Right? And you know, our people just will not listen. We, you know, like as Paul says, you know, when the Gentiles worship their God, the Gentiles worship their God and they go above and beyond. But when you put an Israelite in there, he goes up the moon. Like the Gentiles will go there and bake bread, put the bread there in front of the temple. When the Israelites worship the same God, you'll build a stand, put the temple on the top, put another table there, put the bread on there, and you'll probably have another little table full of spices. Israel will go above and beyond. Like, do too much. No, true story. And the Most High was like, man, these people never listen. Never listen. Right? So even when Paul was dealing with like idol makers in the church, a lot of them were Israelites and Palestinians. They were making very good idols of the pagan gods. They're like, you're making good money from it. Right? So because of that attitude, let's read verse 6.
Verse 6. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns, and make a wall that she shall not find her path.
So we will never find our way back to being Israel until Christ comes back, all because of that attitude. Right? Look at Kanye West. He got all the way closer to being called Israelite, still couldn't walk that path. He woke up, was like gathering around being Israel, still couldn't walk that path. We got how many Israelite schools all around, we still can't walk that path. Because the Most High said, you know what? You guys are going to learn. All the way to when you learn, you're still going to learn. Right? So the Most High is now blocking the paths. Right? Come on.
Verse 7. And she shall follow after her lovers,
Mm-hmm.
but she shall not overtake them.
That's right.
And she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband.
And I follow a Hindu guy on Instagram, a really well-known archaeologist. And you know what? one of the best Hindu singers in North India. She's a Judah sister. She was full on Judah, gold everywhere. Man, bling bling, bells around everywhere. And she's Judah sister. And she got a voice like R&B, but she's singing Indian songs. Yeah. Oh man. I try to screen record it, but you know, in Instagram, if you lose the video, you lost the video. Yeah, man. One of the greatest singers in India. She's still after she's a Judah sister. When I get it, I'll put it on the chat. Man, she got the accents and everything, the eye movements, man. But you will never find our way back. All right, come on.
I will go and return to my first husband.
Mm-hmm.
For then was it better with me than now. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal.
So the Most High stripped us of our resources and land so that we could realize that it was He who truly loved us. Now it's time we return, like the analogy given, so He may embrace us once more. So let's continue on to 14, verse 14.
Jumping down to verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her.
Because, like, if you've got a woman, right, and she be sleeping around, if you try and talk to her now with the distracted everything, she's just gonna block you, right? But imagine if you take her out to the wilderness, out to the park, she's got no distraction onto her, she don't know what to talk to you, right? So the best time I'm taking this woman into the wilderness. No distraction, all right, woman, let's talk. All right, come on now.
Verse 15. And I will give her vineyards from thence.
She's like, it says, therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. So it's like a man that really loves his wife. It's like, man, come, I've got, I read the book. I've already done the mashed potato. You don't have to do the mashed potato. I've already done it. Right? Come on, bring it out to you. I've got to place you in this chair here. You just sit there and I'll cook the steak and it's all done and then we can talk. So everything so that he can talk to his woman. That was not the Most High of Israel. Right? Come on.
Verse 15. And I will give her vineyards from thence, and the valley of Achor for a door of hope. She shall sing there as in the days of her youth, and as in the days when she came up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me Ishi, and shalt call me no more Baali.
Ishi, husband. You shall call me husband. And no more call me Baal. Baal. Right, come on.
Verse 17. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of the heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness, and in judgment, and in loving kindness, and in mercies. I even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness. And thou shalt know the Lord. And it shall come to pass, in the day I will hear this, saith the Lord, I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth.
All right, so in verse 18, when the Most High says he will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, so there's going to be no more wars once that time comes. All weapons will be melted down and be made into farm tools. You know that, bring your AK-47s, we're going to make some rakes. Yeah. Bring all those pistols here and make some spades and shovels. So let's finish it up in Isaiah 11:2, down to verse 9. See, so the Most High in Christ, they would have put so much fear in the earth during that time, so much fear, that the people were coming willingly giving their weapons. Here, take all that. No one wanted to keep any weapons, right? Then everything to be melted down and made farm tools. When you're ready, huh? Isaiah 11:2 down to verse 9.
The book of Isaiah chapter 11 verse 2, and it reads, "And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove the equity for the meek of the earth."
Right, I'm telling you, when Christ comes back, the law will be back as well. Starting off with the law of judgment. There'll be more than, you've got to have witnesses. You can't just condemn someone. You've got to have witnesses. These judgments here will be done on earth. Right? You give me verse 3.
Verse 3, "And shall make him of a quick understanding in the fear of the Lord, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes."
Right, and shall make him of quick understanding of the fear of the Lord. Most times, like, this is from now on, this is how things are going to work. No more magistrates court with the great British flag on it, break that down. Well, we're going to be under Yeshua then. Read on.
"And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears.
Come on,
But with righteousness shall he judge the poor,
that's right.
and reprove the equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. Righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion, and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. And the cow and the bear shall feed, the young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox."
All right, so we know that even the curse will be lifted from the animals as well. Once Israel is saved from curses as well. Let's read on. Well, not only Israel, but the earth and Adam's children. Once it all been redeemed, the animals will be free from that curse. Read on.
Verse 8, "And the suckling child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den."
Right, we'll be that peaceful that children can play with what we used to call venomous snakes. Imagine a child playing with a cobra, right? Or a black mamba. These animals will have no more poison in them. Come on.
Verse 9, "They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountains, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. And in that day," was that it?
So peace and love is on its way. To obtain eternity, you must sacrifice that which is corruptible, because it will not last. Stay positive and pray up. We love you all. Shalom. Any questions? Do we have any questions online? Yep, the one that's a Saturday. Yep. Stick a week and then good on the Sabbath.
Oh, yeah, right. Rephrase.
All right, Ben, so we love you, leave you. So every Sabbath is going to be public from now on. So most are willing that the doctrine gets out there. So before we leave, there's the Hebrew and the Bible Academy starting tomorrow night, Monday morning. For those that are interested in applying for the academy, you can apply for it in sections, $75 every 6 weeks. Or if you find that you're interested, maybe a couple of weeks later, you still can apply. They'll send you all the programs in that one. Otherwise, the uniforms are in for those that are outside of Melbourne. And our uniform girl will send them all out. If you want to get in contact with her, Sabrina. I won't put a number right there, but if you're in the chat and you got the number and you want some questions or you want to find out about your uniform, message it. Otherwise, love and leave you, and we'll be back next Sabbath. And woman, as always, as the Lord says, submit to your man and help him meet his purpose. And in return, your husband or your covering head shall return that same favor into your hands. Until then, much love, peace.